In composition of functions, you typically have a couple of functions. One of them might look like this, f of x equals negative 3x, and another function, we'll just call this one g of x, and I'll use a different color for reasons you'll see why in a minute, and I'll say that's equal to 2x minus 5. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to put them two together. I'd like to make a composition of two functions. So the way that we'll say this is there's a fancy way to write it. It looks like this. This means the composition of f and g of x. And another way of writing it is like this, f of g of x. Alright, so we're going to try to put those two together. Now, we have f of x. Since I'm trying to do f of g of x, it really looks like this. This is f of x is something like this. It's f of something. And you might recall from the past that we could have put a number in here like 7. And if we did, that would mean negative 3 times whatever replaced x. In this case, we'll call it 7. And then we'd say f of 7 equals negative 27. But this time we're going to do something new. This time we're going to say f of something, but the something is going to be g of x. And let's see how that turns out. So that'll be equal to whatever f of x was, negative 3 times a bunch of stuff. And inside of x we'll put g of x, in this case 2x minus 5. And then we can go ahead and we'll put that all together, and f of g of x is one thing, and it looks like this. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x, and negative 3, remember we're distributing, negative 3 times negative 5 is plus 15. So what we get is f of g of x is negative 6. F of g of x is negative 6x plus 15. That's it. The next thing we'll look at is what is g of f of x. So there's this other possibility is we might want to know what g, the composition of g and f of x is, and another way of looking at that is g of f of x. So let's see what that looks like. In this case we have g of something equals 2 times something minus 5. Now in the past we might have put something inside of the brackets where x was. We might have put in like an 8 here, and then we'd put in an 8 over here. But in this case we're going to do something different. In this case we're going to put in f of x inside of g of x, wherever x used to be. And so here we have 2 and parentheses instead of x minus 5, and what we'll do is we'll put f of x wherever x used to be. So in this case f of x, which is negative 3x, goes here. And you'll notice that the negative 3x completely replaces the x. It's not negative 3x next to an x, it replaces the x. And then we can go ahead and do the math. So g of f of x must then be equal to negative 6x minus 10. And that's our answer. Yay, yippee, yahoo. We're so happy about that. And it is the answer to our original, the original thing we were looking for, which was this, g of f of x. So we did it. Yay.